I would like to start off this video by relating to three short stories, well, just little snippets of an anecdote about people who have come to believe in God for emotional reasons. What sparked me thinking about this was I read an interview in Rolling Stone today by Stephen Colbert, who, surprisingly enough, is Catholic and does practice his beliefs. And he said that he went through a period of doubt or skepticism when he was in college, but that he came out of it after he read Sermon on the Mount, and it appealed to him and said, it appealed to him in the sense that it was saying, don't worry, relax, just let it all go. And that sort of clicked for him, and he said to himself, I better re-examine this, because it obviously had some personal resonance with him on an emotional level. It made sense also, too, on an intellectual level, as that's how you should live your life. But that's sort of an ethical reason as well. It's an ethical, emotional thing. And I guess for this example, believing in God for ethical reasons would also constitute an emotional reason. The second one is I heard some anecdote about a Hindu man who came across a little snippet of scripture from one of those little god-awful Jack Chick pamphlets. Or maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was not an abominable Jack Chick nightmare of... No one likes Jack Chick. I think even the Westboro Baptist Church realizes that Jack Chick is theologically unsound from their perspective. Anyway. He came across a little pamphlet that said, "Worry not for tomorrow has enough worries for itself," or some other little pithy saying in the New Testament. It was something about truth, real truth. Jesus was saying that he was like real truth. He is not the truth that's something, he's the truth that's something else. Something pithy, and it resonated with him on an emotional level. And he thought, whoever this is, he didn't know who it was attributed to or what religion even, but whoever it is, this is surely truth. And ended up converting. May not be a true story. And then the third little anecdote, just to prove to you that it happens all the darn time, is one of my friend's fathers is no, he's not a Catholic. His wife is a Catholic. He is a Mormon. He said that, I was in a discussion with him, and I don't remember exactly how it came up, but he said that his main reason for belief was it just gave him this personal sense of belonging in the universe, and everything seemed to click, and that feeling, he literally and specifically called it a feeling, a sensation, and I said to him, I've had that feeling, it's just a feeling. You can't base your beliefs in the world about feelings, which is my basic premise. You can't base your feelings, you can't base your beliefs about the world on your feelings. There are some times where you can believe something based on feelings. Your relationship with another person or an animal or something like that, that primarily is a matter of feelings. So it's fine to base your beliefs about feeling on feelings. It's your feelings for the other person and their feelings for you that is one of the most important elements in a relationship. So that's a legitimate way to base belief on feelings. But even in that instance, you still, as a rational person, often check and say to yourself, are actions consistent with these feelings? Are there other facts that would make me think that these feelings aren't legitimate, like, I don't know, evidence of other families, if you're married to this person in other states, that this guy, or girl, I suppose, has families in other, although it would be a bit harder for a woman to pull off the old multiple families thing, honey, I'm going to be gone for 9 months. So basically, I would just say that, I'm always keen to try to see if there's a good reason to believe in religion, and not even a convincing one, just a good one. And I have to ask myself, there's the philosophical beliefs in God. And most people, that's not the reason they believe in God. There's a select group of people for whom that is maybe more important. The philosophical proofs for God, the the need for the beginning of a chain of causation, or the need for the foundation for morals in an ontological sense. There are those people, but I think they are few and far between, and most people really believe on the basis of their emotions. And I think if you can eliminate belief on the basis of emotions, you've eliminated the vast majority, like over 99% of believers in religion. Eliminated the legitimacy of their belief. You haven't eliminated them. But I really can't find. It just comes down to it. It just comes down to this: your feelings that there's some sort of clicking or consistency or wisdom or morality or just rightness about a religion or an experience that makes you believe in religion, or a word or phrase that makes you believe in God. You have to ask yourself: is it the case? Can it really not be the case that I was just raised to believe this, and so it clicks for that reason? Can it not be the case, perhaps most importantly, that you believe something, or it clicks and it feels consistent and right, but it isn't true? There are a lot of things in science, because science is one of the things that tests things rigorously and doesn't accept it feeling right. There are a lot of things in science that have seemed so appropriate, so right. Newtonian physics pops up as a great example. Very simple, elegant, wrong, just blatantly wrong. Wrong in small amounts, but still wrong. Math has to be right, period. So it's wrong, period. I guess the other, what was I saying? Hold on a second. Oh, and the last thing that I was going to say is, number one, couldn't it be the case that you were just raised to believe that this thing is true, or you were raised in a culture in which it's so accepted that it makes sense to you, or you simply were raised to be religiously credulous? You were raised to believe in a God, so some God or another is going to click with your personality. I would say that in the case of the Hindu guy, that's probably the case. Raised in a very religious country, and something about his personality clicks with a religion from a different country. But still, being raised to be credulous, your credulousness can translate from one religion to another. Credulousness is simply an attitude towards what qualifies you to believe something. In his case, emotional beliefs are good enough. And a lot of people are raised to be credulous. And then secondly, couldn't it just be the case that this seems to fit, but in fact doesn't? And thirdly, and this speaks mostly to the moral points, is couldn't it just be that this is amazing human wisdom? That's it? It's amazing human wisdom. Like, wow, how great. Don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will worry about itself, or has enough worries of its own. That's called wisdom. It's not called God. I can hear people saying, I can just hear the sort of narrow-minded and unreflective types saying, like, that is God. You don't know what you're talking about.